Angela has left the hospital in good health. Oh yeah, she went to the hospital. Forgot about that. With just a small line of stitches on her forehead hidden by her hair. She let me know in a text that she appreciates I was there for her and that this wouldn't happen again. On one hand, I do still want to talk about the whole pretending to be engaged with Neil thing, and on the other hand, I feel bad due to her injury and don't really want to bother her about it. It seems Angela has her own set of problems to deal with. I haven't spoke to Neil since that time at the hospital. Ever since he left with his father, he hasn't spoken to me, not even a single snide text message. I'm actually a little bit worried. It was only through Angela that I knew Neil was working non-stop. That whole fiance thing was basically for nothing. Neil's, I totally went to this. I keep myself busy in my boutique. I feel like I've already read this. If I need something to lift my spirits, I look at the selfie I took with Neil. That always gets a laugh out of me. I decided to hire someone to design me some business cards and create a website. And they talked to me. Hold on, give me a second. Oh my gosh. My headsets are turned up too high. Okay. It's expensive, but it should put me out there and net me more customers. Yeah, see, now the music's all loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Plus, I already knew I needed a website. I just never got around to getting one. It's not because of Neil or anything. Okay, maybe it's a little bit because of Neil, but I won't tell him, that jerk. I'm so engrossed in my own thoughts that I didn't even notice them entering the store until... Okay, I feel like I've already been through this. And if I did, I'll cut it out when I upload it to YouTube, but I'm lost. It's Evelyn, Neil's mother. My mouth drops. I did not expect this unannounced house call. Good morning, I managed to say. I feel my heart rate speed up. I'm nervous standing in front of her. What if she knows? Does she know? I don't know. Why is she here? I got an address from Angela, and I decided I want to come and visit your quaint little shop. Evelyn looks around as she says. I'm getting flashbacks from the time Neil first dropped by, giving me the exact same commentary. Oh well, I'm just here, tending the register. I say with a small nervous laugh. It's a slow day. I see. I feel like she's judging the hell out of my boutique, but I like to assume she has enough class to not voice those negative thoughts. She doesn't seem to be like Neil's father in the sense that she'll continue to be polite. Evelyn starts walking around, looking at the clothing that are showcased on the mannequins. Her hand reaches out to touch the fabric of a long dress. She looks so elegant in my store, and sort of out of place. I don't really get rich customers. Angela was the exception. But Angela's dresses like she has a party to go to. Nothing like Evelyn, who looks like she could be the queen of the country. Are you planning on making your own wedding dress? Evelyn asks. Stumped at the sudden question, I simply look down at my counter to think. Yes, of course. I have dreamed of making my own wedding dress. Never did I imagine I'd be fake engaged and would make it for a fake wedding. Oh God, please don't ever let it get this far. Yes, I decided to answer. I should calm down. It's not like this wedding is happening for real. I've always wanted to make my own wedding dress. I got married in my grandma's wedding dress, she says. Vintage, certainly, but after looking at these pictures for a couple of decades, I regret not wearing one of my own tastes. A lot of women used to do that, I say. It's pretty common in those days. Do you not like your wedding pictures? Evelyn laughs. They were best buried beneath a thick layer of dust. I absolutely loathe them. No, I don't need a reminder that I've been married to Marcus for who knows how many years. It almost sounds like she hates being married to him, and I could totally see why, if his interactions with Neil is any indication of how he treats others. But this is not any of my business. Did you marry young? I decided to ask. We were high school sweethearts. We married soon after graduation. That's a long time. I guess they were each other's first. It's a good thing that these days people wait until they're in 20s to get married. I think Neil's at the perfect age to get married. Evelyn suddenly gives me a slight smile. Oh dear, I don't think I've asked how old you are yet. I'm 23, I answer, turning 24 soon. Ah, to be young again, says Evelyn wishfully. I had my doubts that Neil would ever find a suitable partner to marry. I fiddle with my thumbs. It's not like I'm really getting married to Neil, and this conversation is definitely awkward. I hate having to go through this charade. It was only going to be for one night. It wasn't supposed to continue this pretending to be Neil's fiance thing. Why's that? Does he scare people off with that sharp tongue of his? I say with a snort. I could definitely see Neil chase away any potential romantic interest with that mouth of his. Sure, he looks handsome, but those lips. Those lips. They're terrible. He's an ass. Honestly. Okay. I can't start fantasizing about Neil in front of his mother. More or less, Neil. See, I was taking that two different ways. I was thinking, his lips. Then I was thinking, but he's an asshole. They talk shit. More or less, Neil's a lovely man. He takes care of his family, but he can be a bit awkward around women his age. It's never gone well. Every girl I introduced him to, she'd run away with tears in her eyes. Sometimes I think he does it on purpose, to spite me. I'm trying to imagine Neil going on a blind date with a girl and saying something insulting, and her running out on their date. It sounds really funny, to be honest. I'll play along. Oh, no, not Neil, I say loudly, trying to ham it up. No, he's a gentleman. Might as well have fun out of this interaction. Oh gosh, voice crack. Evelyn smiles at me, unaware of the fact that I'm lying straight to her face. That's good to hear. At last, he's finally found someone to share the good heart of his. I try my best not to laugh. Good heart? More like a frozen heart. We definitely share everything together. I lie. He's the best. I want to blob it. So have you decided on a wedding date yet? I blank. What am I supposed to say now? We haven't really decided on anything yet. I start to break out a cold sweat. That's all right, my dear. Planning a wedding takes a lot of time and effort. I want you to know that Marcus and me will fully cover the expenses to your wedding, so please involve me in your planning. For the second time that day, my mouth drops open. I almost forgot Neil's supposed to be rich, but the way they're just waving their money around is like it's nothing. Is still so absolutely foreign to me. I mean, earlier today, I was haggling down the price of my new website with the designer to save a few pennies. And here is Evelyn saying she'll fully cover a wedding like it's pocket change. Rich people live in different worlds. I stand up straight. Right, yes, I will do that. We stare at each other, having nothing else to say. It's awkward. Then I suddenly remember why I was even doing this whole stupid thing. It was to get Neil's hours cut down, especially now that I haven't even seen Neil in a while. By the way, I'd love to have Neil around more. I cringe as I say this. Is it possible for his hours to be cut down at work? He seems a bit exhausted. I will try, but it's Marcus that has the final say, although I'm fairly sure he'll comply once I tell him you're busy planning a wedding. But Evelyn looks down at her golden watch, then smiles at me. Sorry, Jay. I'm afraid I have to cut our time short. I have to leave for a lunch date. Okay, I say. I feel a bit silenced here. Like Evelyn really wants the wedding to happen. Enjoy your lunch date, ma'am. Have a nice day, dear. Evelyn gives me a little wave with her hand, and then leaves the store. I let out an exasperated sigh. Who knew talking to your fake mother-in-law would be so stressful? I quickly take out my cell phone and I text Neil a message. You owe me one. Or you owe me big time. Question mark. Your mother dropped by my store and wanted to talk about wedding plans. What did you say? I'm surprised he's texting back so fast. That I was only pretending and I actually hate your guts. Clearly you need to return the sense of humor you've bought because it's defective. Now what did you say? Haven't confessed to anything if that's what you mean. How long do I have to keep this up? I'm working on it. Well, work faster. It's exhausting to be your fiancé. After that, Neil longer replies. It's been the first interaction we had since that day at the hospital. I'll admit, I'm a bit worried about him. Maybe he's working himself too much. I miss talking to him as well. I hope Evelyn will pull some strings and relieve his workload. And just to give myself a little boost, I send that picture of me and Neil to his phone, the one where he looks dashingly stupid. I crop myself out of the frame, so only he's left with his lovely face. You are mildly infuriating. Just having a little fun. I burst out into laughter. Okay. What? I actually have... Hold on. Okay. Trying not to cough. Sasha. Why is this a story thing? And do I have that? A week later, and I'm standing in front of Angela's apartment. Earlier today, she called me and asked to drop by for dinner. She said she had something important to discuss. And of course, I had to dress up nicely as usual. I wonder how well she's doing. I haven't seen her since I dropped her off to hospital. I nervously ring the doorbell and Angela opens up. There's a small red line on the place where she hit her forehead, and the stitches seem to be removed already. Jay, says Angela cheerfully. Hurry up inside. I need to take the lasagna out of the oven. I quickly slip through the door and see Angela run off towards the kitchen. Evening. Oh, there's my fiancé. Neil's sitting on the couch looking up at me. Of course he'd be here. Hello, I reply and sit down the opposite end of the couch. It's a bit weird to be here again, on this couch, as I can only recall the last time I was here. Angela split her head open. I would rather not go through that again. I fluff up the pillows on the couch out of nervous habit. After initial greeting, neither of us say anything. The silence fills the room. It feels awkward to be around him again. I don't know why. I start playing with the fabric of my dress, having nothing else to do. You know, it wouldn't be weird if we just meet up on our own terms and not in front of his cousin. Like, you think... Yeah. I take a peek over at Neil and our eyes meet. My heartbeat thumps loudly and I quickly look away from him. Do you always dress up when you come here? Neil asks. I feel overdressed and a bit embarrassed now. Angela always insists on it. Neil turns his head away. You look nice. Oh. Blood rushes to my head. Thank you. That was completely out of the left field. You too, I stutter. Oh great. That was a stupid compliment. Neil doesn't look any different from before. Yeah, you still wear the same clothes. His hair is still different though. Still, I'm happy to see him again. Man, kinda like, I like the black hair. But the purple was vibing. The purple was kinda cool. Okay. Neil fixes his tie with a huff. If you're going to take pictures, I'd like to be warned beforehand. I raise my eyebrows at him. Okay. Do you want to take some pictures together? No, I'm perfectly fine without him, he says quickly. He crosses his arms and looks away. I mean, if you wanted to take another one where I'm fully prepared, then I wouldn't Here I am. Come sit at the table. Dinner is served. Damn. I wanted to know what Neil was going to say about taking pictures. Does he want some of us together? The thought makes me feel fluttery. I sit at the table and wait patiently as Angela throws a heap of lasagna on my plate. She does the same for Neil and herself as well. When we're all seated, we start to eat. It's surprisingly good. It's great, right? It's my secret recipe I learned while I was in Italy, says Angela. She's lying. It's a store-bought, all-in-one lasagna recipe, says Neil dully. Angela sulks at Neil. Oh, hush, don't spoil my fun. It's lovely either way, I say. By the way, how's your head, I ask. I'm doing just fine. Removed the stitches a couple of days ago. Actually, I might leave a small scar, but I've been using this lovely cocoa butter cream to reduce the redness. Hopefully it'll work out. Or it works out. Gosh. I hope so too, I say, and silently wish Angela would stop drinking. We eat further in silence until Angela speaks up again. I'm glad you could make it for dinner, Neil. I figured you were too busy at the hospital. As it is, my hours have been cut down this week. Neil's eyes dart over towards me. Regardless, what exactly is the important news you had to share? Ah, yes. I wanted both of you to know that I've taken the time to reflect on my actions. And, Neil presses. And firstly, Jay, I want to apologize for roping you into my little scheme with Neil. Now, know that I had the best intentions. I'll let Evelyn and Marcus know what I did, so you don't need to pretend to be Neil's fiancé anymore. After Evelyn visited me at the boutique, I feel like it's even more awkward to come out with the truth now. I almost want Angela to tell them we broke the engagement off or something, not that we were fooling them all along. I mean, she came to my store and everything, and I talked about wedding dresses. It's about time. I couldn't keep this up anymore. Mother has been hounding me with questions about a fiancé I never had. Anne came to my store, I pointed out. I had to give her your address. She practically begged me for it. I'm sorry, my love, said Angela. I hope it wasn't too awkward. Nothing much. We only talked about my future wedding with Neil. There won't be a wedding, snaps Neil, looking a little embarrassed. As I recall, your mother offered to pay for the entire wedding. I could take her up on that offer and simply have one hell of a wedding party, then dump you at the altar. Seems like a fun way to spend the day on someone else's expense, maybe at one of those really big castle estates. I'm not going to let you have your fake fairy tale wedding just so you can leave me at the altar, grumbled Neil. No one in their right mind would leave me at the altar. I'm way too much of a catch. Oh damn, someone's cocky. I laugh. Your mother told me this funny little story, how you chased away every single girl she introduced to you. They were running away in tears. I lean in closer and point my fork at Neil with a devilish smile. His Majesty can't even find a queen. Neil, probably for once in his life, looks like he's at a loss for words. He stares at me with an open mouth. His cheeks flush with blood. He doesn't know how to respond because he knows it's true. And oh my god, he looks rather adorable when he's all embarrassed. It's payback for all the times he's been mean to me before. I'm sorry, but I have to cut it here. His Majesty? Asked Angela. It's my turn to blush. It's, a nickname for Neil. It sounds a lot sillier when I say it out loud like this. Angela looks at us with a big knowing smile on her face, ignoring the lasagna entirely. So we're down to nicknames now, are we? As much as I like teasing Neil and making him blush, it seems to have backfired on me, and now Angela's taken the opportunity to tease us both. Enough about this. What were you trying to say, Angela? Neil tries to change the topic. Right. Angela places her fork down. Well, after last week, I couldn't remember anything. I raise my eyebrows. This is news to me. Did she suffer from amnesia? Jay, darling, I didn't even know you were there. I can't even recall anything odd happening to me that day. I can't remember drinking my third bottle of wine, and after that, it's all blank. There's a missing piece in my memory. I had to explain to her what happened, Neil points out, that you got an ambulance and went with her to the hospital. Oh, I had no idea that Angela didn't remember. Once I got back home, trying hard as I could to remember, I saw a little spot of blood near my couch. It was mine, but I didn't recognize it at all. Although I'm pretty glad I didn't bleed all over my carpet. Ha. I give her a wry smile, and the dark humor bothering me a little. You definitely scared me there, I say. I've been blackout drunk before, but this is the first time it unnerved me so much that I couldn't remember what happened. Angela takes a deep breath, looking serious. So I did some reflecting, and I've decided. She pauses, and both me and Neil wait for her to finish, curious to know what she has to say. Exactly what did she decide? I hope it isn't just another one of her silly plans. I decided to take some time off life and check myself into rehab. What? We both say in surprise? It's going to be a blast. It's a resort out in the Caribbean. You get to relax and chill at the beach for months on end. I mean, I like to say I'd be drinking cocktails, but that would defeat the purpose. So I guess I'll be drinking coconut water instead. I'm at much loss for words, as much at loss for words as Neil is. This was unexpected. Rehab? Angela is checking herself into rehab? Come on now. Don't act like it's the strangest thing you've heard of. I'll just be off on another little adventure of mine. How? I mean, why so suddenly? Neil doesn't quite know how to voice his thoughts. Angela is quiet for a bit, looking down at the table. She gives us a slight shrug with her shoulders. I guess I need to face the ugly truth, and after my little accident, I noticed that all I was doing was push the people I love away from me. I'm really sorry. I promise it won't happen again. Angela sounds so heartfelt that I can't help but smile at her. I grab her hand and give it a squeeze. You're going to be okay. You made a wise decision, I say. For how long? Asks Neil. I don't know. Until I'm ready to go out in the world again. Could be a month. Could be 4. Are you sure you're not treating it just like a regular resort? Well, it certainly has its appeal, says Angela with a giggle. But I vow I will try my best to abstain from any alcohol ever again. I'm done with it. I don't need it as a crutch anymore. She leans closer to Neil. But you need to start making some changes as well, little cousin of mine. I don't want to see another family member work himself to death. Get out of there. Have some fun. Take Jay out on a date. I will decide that on my own. Thank you very much, mutters Neil. Stop worrying about me already. I always worry about you, dear. And where would you be if you didn't have such a strong, overprotective cousin around like me? I do just fine, says Neil with a roll of his eyes. My life would actively improve without your antics in it. When are you leaving? I just had to ask. This weekend. I'm flying over, sometime Saturday, so it'll be quite quick. I simply flash my credit card around and a spot opened up in no time. I'll be at the beach, enjoying the warm sun on my face in only a few more days. Send pictures, I say with a laugh. Yes, we need to see you remembered to cover up at the beach, says Neil. You're such a doll. You know nude beaches are a thing, right? I feel all warm and bubbly inside, sitting here with Neil and Angela, talking about how she's going to take some step forwards. Stop drinking alcohol and turn her life around. It all sounds like a good plan, like nothing can go wrong. We both congratulate Angela some more for her courage, eat our dinner in peace and laughter. When it's time to go home, Neil offers me a ride in his car. We get inside Neil's car and we're on our way home. I can't believe Angela's going to rehab for an alcoholism problem. I am so proud of her. I definitely did not expect that to be a thing she wanted to tell us. Neil seems to be somewhere else with his thoughts, and I'm kind of curious to know what he's thinking about. You seem kind of quiet. What's on your mind? It's something she said, he says slowly. Like what? She told me not to work myself to death. Her father, he died pretty young, heart attack. It was sudden and quick. Neil takes a deep breath. Angela would tell me how he would be working too much and how she never saw him anymore. During college, they barely had any sort of contact. My family would often say that he worked himself to death. Oh my gosh. I keep quiet, registering what he said. My mouth is a little dry, honestly. There we go again. Okay. If Angela's father worked too much, I can see why she would be worried about Neil doing the same thing, and why she would be so overprotective of him. I see. I guess that's why she came up with that ridiculous idea to please your parents to let you off the hook. Yes, it makes it understandable, but not excusable. Don't you think we should do something nice for Angela? We are talking about the same woman who tried to pass you off as my fiancé, right? I know, but she admitted her mistake, and she's going into rehab. I think that's pretty brave of her. It is. I definitely think recap. Okay. I definitely think we should do something for her before she leaves. We won't see her for who knows how many months. So how about a nice going away present, I suggest? Neil takes his time answering. I guess I don't see the harm in that. Great. Do you think you can pick me up tomorrow so we can head to the mall? Or do you have to work still? Neil glances at me with a raised eyebrow. I think I can spare some time in the morning. My hours have been cut down this week. I smile to myself, wondering what I should get her. Maybe a nice towel to use on the beach. I'm off in my own thoughts, feeling pretty content. Excited to go shopping with Neil tomorrow. 1. I look over at Neil, who disturbs me out of my thoughts. When my mother visited, you told her something, didn't you? I shrug innocently. That depends on what you mean by something. I can only imagine the fake praise you've given me, says Neil with a glare, but that's not what I was referring to. Then pray, tell, what are you referring to? Neil looks bashful all of a sudden, which is an odd change of pace. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't have had the time to take you to the mall tomorrow. Huh? What do you mean? Weren't for what exactly? He's confused. He's confusing! Gosh! Oh! He's talking about me asking Evelyn if I can lower Neil's workload. That, right, yeah, I figured I might as well turn and knock your situation into something useful. Neil flashes a slight smile. I thank you for that. And just like that, I'm blushing again. He's thanking me, truly and honestly thanking me without some hidden agenda or insult. I wasn't prepared at all for the Neil this evening. First, he says I look nice without any sort of prompt, and now he's giving me this cute smile and thanking me, showing me all of these sides of him. Where did the mean and pompous Neil go? I glance over at Neil, who went back to looking at the road. I can see we were almost at my house. So, I say, trying to fill up the silence, what time tomorrow? Will your store be okay if it's closed tomorrow? He asks instead. No worries. Me and my 4 customers can wait another day, I joke. And Neil snorts in response. Very well. I'll come by at 10. Don't be late. We drive a little further until Neil stops. We're at my home. Thanks for the ride. Have a nice night, I tell Neil and open the car door. Sweet dreams. Honestly, I don't know what's gone into him today. He's a lot more, how should I put this, gentle? Kind? I didn't think those words could ever possibly describe Neil. Kiss, 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 kiss. Damn it. I feel Neil's eyes on me as I walk towards the front door. When I try to reach for my keys, I realize I don't have my purse with me. Frantically, I turn around and see that Neil has rolled down his car window and is holding out my purse for me. You forgot this, he says. There we go! Woo! Kiss, 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 kiss. I quickly head back to the car and see that Neil is stretching his body over the passenger seat to be able to hand me my purse. I reach for the purse, feeling my fingertips touch the fabric, and they slide down until I feel Neil's warm hand. My heart starts beating faster in anticipation for the crazy stunt I'm about to pull. Let's do it! I bend down and lower myself through the car window until I'm face to face with Neil. His golden eyes widen at the sight of me. He's surprised I got so close. Feeling a surge of electricity run through me, I take the plunge and I lean forward, my lips pressing against his. My heart's beating like crazy and I can hear Neil let out a raspy breath of air. And just like that, I lean back, pulling myself out of the car and grabbing my purse. Yeah, I forgot this, I say, holding a finger to my lips. I give him a sweet smile, and then I turn my heel again and walk to my door. I fumble around nervously with my keys, trying to hurry the hell up inside, because honestly, I have no idea what possessed me to act like such a flirt. When I finally managed to open the door, I quickly shut it and let out a sigh. I can't wait to see him again tomorrow. Kiss, 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 kiss. Alright, we're just gonna go into the next chapter if I have enough money. And I do.